There's a guy who died for 7 minutes, and he claims that when he died, it's like...
Are you recording? This is a good story.
Yes. Okay. So he died for 7 minutes, and he claims that when he died, he floated over the moon, and it felt like he had feelings and thoughts, but no body and no pain, and he was in space, and he felt like he was offered options to basically for reincarnation. And he's like, no, I want to go back. 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 And it was like a heart attack situation thing. And he was dead for 7 minutes. Boom, they revive him.
What was the cause
He lived.
of...
Heart attack. 7 minutes. No oxygen. So then they put him in a coma for months because he didn't have oxygen to the brain for a while. And he came back. And when he came back, that's what he said, is that when I died, I floated through space. I passed over the moon. I could see the things. I felt like he was a person still. And that he just wanted to go back to life.
Huh. Sounds like a Friday night on shrooms or something.
I was going to say psychedelic or therapeutic hypothermia. You're not dead till you're warm and dead.
Until you're warm and what?
Dead.
Warm and dead.
I think going over the moon is kind of the weird part. That's like...
I don't know, though. He didn't have to go through all that training. He was just there.
I mean, it cost Elon Musk a lot of money to try to do that, so I don't know.
In 7 minutes. That's got to be a record.
Think of what kind of trailer you could get for that.
We're Arts Adventure summits the airwaves. This is the Ogden Arts and Adventure Show. I'm Brandon Long, along with
Todd Oberndorfer.
And we are your hosts for the greatest podcast in all the land. Although we've heard there's competition we didn't even know about. There's more podcasts pop up every day in this here town.
More the
Aric,
merrier.
Yeah, the more the merrier. So Aric was one on. This is a double podcast day for Aric. So
we got 3 more later.
3 more later.
Yeah.
Competition is healthy.
He doesn't have any of them scheduled though. It's just somebody sees him, grabs him, pulls him into the room
or the alley.
He just starts talking.
Yeah.
It's also famous.
This Rogan guy keeps messaging me, and I'm like, dude,
stay away.
Don't do it.
Anybody named Joe? I don't know.
Actually, you get paid to be on that show, so just accept the money and go. He'll probably fly you to the studio and everything.
Nope.
Oh, donation to the cause. You got to make money for this event we'll talk about coming up, so maybe he'll sponsor,
We can figure out an LLC for you that could not be 20%
I didn't know he paid his guests.
Oh, he's got to. The bigger podcasts do. And by the way, they're all in the studio. So how do they get
I don't
there?
know of
I'm
any
not getting
podcast
paid right now.
No, hell
has
no.
30 minutes of advertising, like...
I mean, it would make sense because he's bringing in some money. If he's sharing it, I get that. But that's just any sort of news interview show. It just seems like that would taint the experience. It just seems like...
But it's not a news show. It is just commentary for 3 hours, and he just bullshits, and then here's some ads, and
they're very long.
They are long.
It's taking off a chunk of your day.
The big shows pay their guests, and I'm not getting paid right now, so there's something wrong here.
We're not big enough. We're not there yet, Aric.
Oh, that's big.
Yeah, that
okay,
big.
because you're big. It's just
Huge.
maybe not that big.
You're going to get a new car here soon. It's not direct cash, it's indirect cash.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Breein, we got it. Okay, now the mic's too high up, but we can't see your face. It's like this on the...
Well, Aric told me, and I you're your damn camera.
You're my damn camera.
I said I showered, and I accepted an email.
They can't smell
Speaking of
through
drive-by
the
podcast.
So, yeah.
This isn't a scratch and sniff.
I mean, we can try. It's all new.
I would
I'm ready for
prefer that at the
technology, though.
So I have some technology on it. Like, could you imagine, since we're talking about it, a picture frame that emits a scent?
Yes, I would love that.
Right.
Especially
Like the
of the
markers.
woods.
Yeah, like if you have a picture of you at Yellowstone and
Yes.
you push, and every time that pops up, a pine scent pops
Poof.
out of the frame.
Because
then
things that
all
go
the senses
in my
are
house
back.
don't smell good.
Yeah,
So,
either.
yeah.
Yeah.
It changes it.
Yeah.
But it's
what I'm
like
saying.
your babysitter
Yeah.
when you were little and had those probably carcinogenic markers that they showed
Why are
up
we
to your
going
house
so
with.
deep, so dark?
No, we're not. I'm just saying. I would still buy them if they came in that candy store. They are the most amazing markers ever, and you can't find them anywhere. Do you know what ones I'm talking about?
Movies would be cool too, because they do them at the ride at Disneyland. That's like
Yep.
Soaring California, and they
That's
have the
amazing.
smells. That's what you want to
Bingo.
In a picture
in a
frame.
picture frame.
Brandon,
How cool
I
is
think
that?
you can recreate that. I just use it like
In a podcast?
Yeah, like with the PDF.
What does our trailer smell like? Todd?
Poof. Camping and whiskey.
And
I'm
spray
Not sure
paint.
what I'm
And
not
spray
sure what
paint.
woof smells like, but Maybe a little bit of dog.
Joining us today on the show, in case you haven't heard of them from them yet, Aric Manning, Trails Foundation, Northern Utah. Breein, you're an artist. You're actually 4 or 5 doors down from us here in the Monarch building. You just got back from doing a pretty cool show in Colorado not very long ago.
2 shows.
2 shows in Colorado. What'd you learn? What are you going to do different next time?
Not do shows. I'm just kidding. They are a lot of work.
How do you describe your art so that people know what kind of work is being displayed at the show?
So it definitely is multimedia, true to the form, but not electronic media.
Okay.
That narrows it down.
Yeah. It does a lot. It is authentic. I can do absolutely anything except I truly suck at spinning pottery. That's why I love that those people will transport all their pottery and risk life and death of shattering all of it on the way there. Mm.
So you work with acrylics?
I use commercial grade epoxy, like you would.
Oh, epoxy.
That you would use on concrete.
Okay.
And graffiti art, a lot of woodworking.
How much cleaning are we going to have to do to your studio when you decide to move out?
None.
Okay.
Absolutely none, because I clean up after myself.
Okay.
And I don't create anything that I wouldn't hang in my own house.
Okay. Do artists create stuff they wouldn't hang in their own house?
Yeah.
Okay.
They will create for the masses over.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's
Okay.
sort of.
Did you have success in Colorado?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
But I was originally an artist. When I was a child, I didn't know this was important. But I was in gifted and talented programs in Carmel and in Utah, and I was at the Gallivan Center, and I had books that were published as in elementary school. Of course, I went the safety route of nursing and did a lot with that. And that actually
you don't do that anymore, right? Are you retired? I use quotes because I don't know. Yeah.
I'm licensed in
Okay.
just about everything. I choose to be retired.
Okay. So
I love it.
So you're a full-time artist?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Yeah.
Artiste.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's the spill.
That's actually the easiest way to put it.
Thanks for
when
having
people,
us on.
You know what I really love is when people say, "What is your medium?" and I say, "What do you want it to be?" Because I'll tell you if I can or if I can't. But I don't do a lot of commissions, but I would if the idea is matched.
So then, how do you price your art? Because isn't art priced per sort of on the medium, or is it just time invested? How is it? How do you do that?
Yeah, people, whatever they'll pay for it.
Okay. Yeah.
That's funny because that's exactly what my husband says. But really, there is a formula. Whatever resonates in a demographic, and that can be global. So you
So we're in Ogden, Utah, and so you said you don't make art. You said you only make art for you, so not for the price point, or for this demographic. So how do you price it for this demographic, or do you not care? You just want to sell it wherever?
Well, think of your salaries. You always keep it as media. I'm not Banksy or Shepard Fairey, but I'm also valid. So there is a good formula for that, and you just. Oh, this is great.
Is this on art pages? Where do you find this formula? Is this something that artists know? Do we know these things? How do we?
It's qualitative and quantitative.
Okay.
And then it's still at the end of the day, it's exactly as you said. It's what people will pay for it. And you don't create it based off of monetary value. You can't do that. Otherwise, it will have no meaning. You may as well do just
say it.
Say it, do it, go there.
Dare you.
You may as well paint pictures of pictures that somebody could print at Costco if it wasn't original.
Well, some people make money doing that too.
They do. They absolutely do.
Have you seen my Etsy store?
But you have to have... I love your Etsy store. I own half of your merchandise, dude.
Oh my gosh.
Have you seen my Etsy store?
Have you seen my house full of prints
that
are not mine?
Would you sell your art here for the same price you would sell it for if you were at a place in Sun Valley?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And their taxation. So Breckenridge, you're 8.8% tax plus the city tax. Or if they, I have a show coming up that I haven't told anybody about.
Tell me more.
In during Oktoberfest in Bend, Oregon. Saturday, Sunday. Feel free to come. I could use you a hype man. It's in Bend, Oregon. I have a VRBO.
Is there Oktoberfest during like fall?
It is.
I feel like we start ours
Yes.
in like beginning
June.
of summer.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Isn't that
Late
ironic
spring.
for Utah?
It's the oddest Oktoberfest.
I got a
hosing on it's 100.
I got one of those memory reminders today. Of we did, let's see, some interviews with there was a beard competition, but it was at the Oktoberfest.
That's right.
Somewhere.
Yeah, it's Snowbird.
Snowbird.
Yeah.
But it was today, so it was still in August.
So you
Yeah.
would have had to have like the beard tan.
It was. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember
Well,
being
it's
this hot.
95 today.
No,
It's
yeah, I
hot
don't
as
think it
hell
was
today.
quite this hot last year on this day. And it's cooler up there too, but it's still early. It's so early. It just seems like the vibe is just not the same.
You know what?
You're not ready yet.
Just
they know what
get
they're-
your kids the unlimited pass and go up and drink pumpkin beer with whipped cream on it. I know. Ooh, I love saying that in front of Aric.
Can I leave now? Am I done?
Okay, Al Roker, thank you.
Yeah, that sounds good.
But in Oregon, in Bend, it is, I want to say, it's
October, right?
the first weekend in October, but not their first Friday. And they have so many cool bands. And it's really fun to drive with 3 dogs in 2 different vehicles to transport really heavy art up there. But they're fun. That's the thing I learned about shows.
Yeah,
Like
okay,
Breckenridge, Silverthorne. You definitely work for every penny. And I was doing it for exposure initially, and then I loved the people. The people that show up, it's really, because I think art should be accessible. Because you can't just, well, you can, but it's usually not accessible. Like if you walk into any MoMA venue, most people are like, oh, modern art is like a Rice Krispie that somebody poured acrylic over, or it's just gray. So not true. So you have to make art like at an
Todd's
entry
smiling.
point. I know, well, it's true. So, but oddly, that is the hardest area to venture into. But I want mine to have a purpose. So anything that was created in the form of something else, I donate to a 501c3 of that organization. I don't advertise that because I don't want people to buy it for that purpose. I want to buy them to buy it for them, and I want it to be accessible. But I admire modern art. But then when you're raised from like age 0 or no memory to now, you don't realize how sterile art can be and how intimidating. So you have to make it fun. Oh, that's why I like Meow Wolf too, if you want to plug somebody.
I was going to say, do you have feedback on
Rice Krispie
Rice
treats.
Krispie treats at the MoMA?
No. I mean, that's the general perception. I think that's anything contemporary. You throw out any of those words to sort of
Contemporary and
non-art
modern
folk
are
and they
different.
freak out. But the point is that you use anything other than what they're comfortable looking at, and it's going to be some sort,
Yeah.
this new process for them to go through. And so they probably already have a preconceived notion of what they like. And luckily, there's plenty of people open for new experiences. And so there's a place for modern art.
That's why I stick with mixed media.
Yeah.
So it should be, kids should be able to do it. Adults should be able to appreciate it. Nobody should feel like unwelcome in that arena because literally anything is art.
Literally, yeah, I guess it's true. Yeah, we
This is
give away all of it for free, Brandon.
It's,
There's our problem right there.
not all.
You were only Rogan.
Well,
You're brogan.
I'm Brandon. Okay.
we're broken.
You're brogan.
Oh, man.
Did you just bro that?
I just came out of that one. I don't
No, but we could start that
My-
podcast, the
my
Brogan
cat-
podcast.
My cameo will increase.
Your cameo cash will definitely increase.
Well, I'll just hop in.
Yeah.
Okay,
Unwelcome.
so Friday night is gallery stroll, and so you'll be here Friday night.
I will.
And so, if we visit your studio, what do we see? Can we buy anything? Do you just chat with people? What do you do on the gallery stroll nights? I know what we do. We do this van sessions. What do you do?
Ooh, I love the van sessions because I love the music. All of the above.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this time I'm going to be selling my honey because we've managed to harvest a lot, and I'm very conservative with that. And I have grinders and rolling papers from my shows in Colorado that are logoed with. But my original art, I'm going to be in the studio. Yes, you can always buy it. yes, I accept all methods of payment, and yes, I'm reasonable, fair, and I have 2 pieces of 2+ pieces over at the Eccles.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but my favorite part is the talking to people part. My husband's favorite part, he will manage the process. So I'll
Well, what's his job then? Did you put him
see
to work?
the need, be the need.
Handler.
Handler?
Good. That was probably perfect. It helps that Aric knows both of us so deeply well.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Harry the handler.
That's why
Sun-
Eric's coming to Bend.
Sun just go down, just the whole light change. Just see that?
It's close.
Yeah, clouds. Weird. When you're camping, those things happen sometimes.
So how long have you been at the Monarch? What are your thoughts about the Monarch? Were you excited when you moved in?
Oh yeah, I've been here a while, but solo as a studio, months. But
Yeah.
I've been.
So what's your original story then when you moved in? Who were you with?
Emily Cook?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, she was my doctor. She helped me through the death of my father. She lives around the corner from me now. Awesome. Our art is completely different, so we were thinking split personality type situation with the studio, but then I took it over, and she's thriving down the road, and I actually love it here.
Oh, good.
It seriously
enjoyed it
has.
as well.
Oh gosh, it's so fun when you walk in here. It's why I'm here constantly. It is seriously. It's
That's my next question: is how much time do you spend at the Monarch?
a lot.
Well, she does this. So we were told we weren't allowed. Well, we could sleep here. We just couldn't shower. Is that what it was? I
You
can't.
couldn't be obvious about
Couldn't be
There's a
obvious.
shower.
cleaning yourself in the sinks.
Yeah, we couldn't. We couldn't shower in the sinks. I think is what it was. But Breein doesn't care. She's all. Yeah,
She just doesn't shower.
she doesn't shower.
Well, I live 2 miles away. If I can't shower at home, then this is a problem.
Yeah.
But when I'm here, like those Breckenridge shows, I mean, that's 2 months of your life basically. Plus, I'm taking care of a cabin that's actually a cabin, not like Bear Lake.
What is this?
No, it's real. It's
Okay.
it
This is a controversial podcast.
Listen,
Not
we
really.
didn't know
It's
it was
not
gonna
really
go that
controversial.
direction, but yeah. But I think what she's referring to meaning like it's not like modern, right? Like this is
Oh, believe me, I would
it's not a
love to
Rice
have.
Krispie treat.
right.
I would love to have a house off of wherever overlooking the ocean or any mountain. But
Yeah.
no, this is a cabin.
Yeah,
Like I had
okay.
to get skunks out. Badgers were dead in the basement.
That's
that
a
sort of
cave.
thing. That's
Yeah.
a cabin.
That's a
it's
cave.
like it's
That's a
120 years old. And my step grandfather is in a raccoon hat and a full leather outfit with my family on the fireplace. People think the photo's fake. It's absolutely real. So anyway, that's where we stay when we go to Colorado. So you're doing both. So I'm at the Monarch 99.9% of the time.
That's a lot.
It's
It's
been-
almost 100.
well, because you have to make up for lost time, or you're 6 weeks in Colorado. So it's like if you took 6 weeks off work and you're the only person who does your job, you have to come back and do that job.
Yeah. Self-employed artists, I tell you, it's rough.
So summer's
It
kind
is,
of
but at
coming.
least I knew what I was getting into.
Summer's coming to a close. Do you have any more shows, or are they wrapped up?
One in February in Florida, maybe 2, but it's ski season, so we'll see.
February in Florida.
So all right, well that's fun.
So there's that.
You got shows in Florida, and then do you just take the same? That's what's interesting to me is that you take the same art to Colorado and Oregon and Florida. No.
Nope.
Okay. You mix it up.
I change it. Just
Okay.
like your price points change per demographic, your wages change per demographic, your art changes per demographic. It's still true to you, but you take. Well, you don't haul things 2,000 miles that weigh a lot
True.
to a demographic. it
Are you
wouldn't
driving
resonate
to
with.
Florida?
I'm shipping it.
Okay. Yeah.
Colorado, I haul it. Distance and cost is the same. Weirdly, Bend is closer.
Yeah. Wild. Dude, life of an artist. Todd
It's
knows something
A
about
little
that.
this, little that.
Healthcare is easier, but I don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like you had a choice. You had to do what you're doing now.
Yeah,
I get that.
thanks. Go for it.
Todd,
We get that.
Todd gets it. I don't know about Aric. Do you have an art
I don't
side to
even
you?
know what that means right
Yes,
now, and
he
I'm a
does.
little offended. I do have an art side.
Yeah. I want to hear more.
you wanna really hear
your
about it?
art side? Yeah.
What's art? Like, what do you consider art? Anything?
Well, Breein said it was anything.
Well, you know.
You're
I
a
mean,
creative problem solver.
Yep. She's my handler. She says it. No, I like to do stuff like alphabet
That's what you do
soup.
when you run a nonprofit. You're a problem solver.
That's art.
Yeah, it is art.
Yeah. No, I mean podcast stuff. I think that's an art.
I think telling stories is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
definitely an art form. You're
That
very
came
good at.
later, though.
Then what?
You
The
can
chicken or-
develop a relationship with literally anyone.
That's an art.
Good or
You can
bad.
see the need and be the need.
Good or
like,
bad.
Good or
effortlessly.
bad, I can do it. No, I'm not like, I can't draw, I can't paint, I can't rhyme. I can rhyme, I'm pretty good. I can't, but I'm not. I'm
No,
not,
no, no,
no.
in a modern sense, I'm not art.
Keep going. I want you to say all the can'ts. Just everything you can't do. We got about 15 minutes left.
Oh, you don't have enough time
Oh my
then?
God.
Let's go down that list right now.
No, I wouldn't consider myself artsy at all
Oh, good Lord.
in the modern sense, which I look at as more like what Breein
Todd-
does.
Todd is-
what Todd does.
We have
False.
we're on the Ogden City Arts Advisory
Yeah.
Committee, and we just had the voting for the Mayor's Awards in the Arts. And one of the categories, and it was the chair that I guess I'm the chair of, is media arts, which means things like podcasting, video, stuff like that. So
Okay.
it is thrown into the arts that you are a very good communicator, storyteller, like Todd said, and a relationship maker. He can make killer relationships with people all across the world from all different types. And he brings them together and he makes them laugh, and that is called art.
Yeah, and you're archiving these stories too. I mean, that's significant.
I love this show. I feel like a better person right now.
No, you
Like,
are
for real.
a good you're the best.
Maybe we
best
should
of
stretch
friends.
across this couch right now. We'll just get as deep as we can with
Please.
you right now.
Oh, I've got the best photo of Aric stretching across.
Talk about your
Well,
mother.
we got to pay extra for that, Breein. Hold
No.
that.
That's for Patreon.
You know what I'm talking about.
I was going to say OnlyFans. It's whichever one, I guess.
By the way, I had my kids educate me on whatever that was.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, good try.
They're 25 and 27. Let's be clear on kids.
Okay.
25 and 27, they'll forever be kids. But no, Aric is in running clothes. We were running around Willard Bay.
Oh, he's in clothes. Never mind.
He's clothed. I'm sorry.
I was laying on an iceberg though.
He was, and he has his sexy Aric pose on. So yeah, you are an artist, and you can make anybody feel warm and welcome in any.
If
atmosphere.
podcasting doesn't make you an artist, laying on an iceberg and with running clothes on makes you an artist.
Shorts were 5-inch cut inseam. They were short enough.
Woo!
Yeah.
Woo!
You probably had
Give us some more. Just
knickers
picture that
underneath
right
them.
Oh no. No.
No?
No.
Knickers.
It was cold. It was
It
Bear
doesn't-
Lake.
not for
Everything
me.
bit you.
It was Willard Bay, but no.
Oh, that's right. It was
You're-
Willard Bay. Harriman. That was the other one.
Yeah.
Aric, we got to get to your event coming up because you're joining your passions, which include communication, because the acronym of the whole event, I think, was originally yours. Not yours. I mean, throughout history, probably someone else had come up with this.
Sure. You
But-
don't invent new things much anymore.
But you used it personally for other stuff, and then bringing it back. So the nut is what we were talking about, the nut, and you can explain what that means. But it does fuse arts and adventure. And so tell us what the nut is, and then who came up with the idea to sort of put those two things together as an event here in town.
Oh, that's a good story, and I know Todd's got me on a timer, so I'm going to go quick here. Nut is
Listen, it's loose if it's a good story.
okay. Oh, then we
So you're
got
probably you're gonna be all
And
right.
Brandon has to do all the editing.
time. No, so the nut is the Northern Utah Trailfest.
Okay.
And realistically, this was a long time coming. It's something I was looking at doing on a personal level. I have done the Ogden Trail Running Festival on the personal side and the Northern Utah Trail Series, which was nuts. But just an idea.
It's how we met.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Met over nuts.
Yes, we met over nuts.
Yeah.
Nuts are bonding.
They
Yes,
can be.
They can be.
yeah. Binding. But yeah, so Northern Utah Trail Fest was an idea.
Bonding.
Yeah.
Bonding. Can I say bonding? That's pretty good.
Eric
Bonding.
just hears what he wants to hear. Binding.
It
Bonding.
hit me like a second later. Like, that was pretty good. Not as sharp one.
Yeah, if you're quicker than Todd, Eric, we got to talk. So.
Labs mating.
But no, I mean, it came with my new role with the Trails Foundation in Northern Utah, and it was before the pandemic hit, and I reached out, had an idea. I reached out to Todd Ferrario, Weber County Parks and Rec, because of North Fork Park, and I said, hey, I got this idea for an event, And the concept is to bring the trail community together. So, in my professional life, I hear, a lot of conflict on the trails between all trail users. So we're not going to pick, we got bikes, we got horses, we got people on foot, we got people with dogs, but all the above. It's like, it's just conflict sometimes. And I thought, let's bring these groups together to let them understand that we're all the same.
To fight.
Like we're talking.
We'll fight it out.
Is West Side Story? Is that right? Is that the one?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It is.
They
It
fight.
actually
Yeah,
is. I was going to say, are you going to dance, and who's riding the horse?
Oh
No.
no, but this is brilliant because
This is
we all have similar
You-
tastes and for the love of the outdoors
It's
and
just a
nature
different
and the arts.
modality,
Yeah.
right? Whether
Yep.
you're on a horse, on a bike, using your feet, but you're out
Trails.
there most of the time for the same reasons. So
Mm-hmm.
that if we can get an event where we have two separate courses, so the runners are on one course or hikers, and the bikers are on another, but the start finish is in the same area, you're kind of like coming together, right?
Yep.
And then when you're done, so the idea came, and when I talked to Todd Ferrario, he says, hey, you know what? That's a great idea. Being a nonprofit, I'm okay with this. You're not like, out for personal, like your own business. He says, well, you should reach out to the Goal Foundation because they put events on, right?
Yeah.
And I said, oh, that's great. But at the same time I started, they've got a new executive director, Aric Bauman. So I took it to him before the pandemic, and he said, yeah, sounds like a good idea. We could do this together. Well, then the pandemic hit and it got put on hold. But then, it gave us more time to let it marinate and think about just, kind of that festival mentality, right? So it didn't have a name yet. But the idea was that, as well as like bring the community together. So if you're not a participant, you don't do those things. How do you get your families involved, right? So if you're going up and you've got a significant other, a family member, a child, whatever, what can they do? So then it kind of morphed into this big festival idea. And so we met with my team, the Goal Foundation, of course, Weber County Parks and Rec, and we just came up. I mean, it's morphed. This is its second year, and so we learned a lot last year. But you're in the woods. It'd be nice to have some bands, some fire pits.
Yeah, what worked well last year, and then what are you changing for this year?
You know what? Everything we did really worked well because there's camping. We tried to get a lot of groups involved, so not just like our nonprofits, but Weber State had a hike going. We got a astronomer guy out there, and it was a full moon. It's in October. The leaves are changing. The weather was perfect. So we just tried to bring a lot of different community components together to showcase. We had poetry in the woods. We had, poetry readings. We had journal making. So that type of thing. And then, of course, the events. And this year, it's, in my opinion, going to be bigger. We learned a lot, but we also, the bands, we got more vendors. We got food trucks, more music. So we have some Friday night. Oh, it's just a fun atmosphere. Like even if you don't participate, it's free, right? You can go up. Everything's free except the food, or you can participate and be a part of it. So a lot of great partners. I know Van Sessions is going to be there as well with the van near the chute of the start finish.
Don't give me that face, Todd. So what happens is
I know the van's gonna be
we pull up.
Oh,
yeah,
my bad.
I think we pull up to an event, and when I put the van in park, musicians just fall out, and then they sit up,
It's
and then they just start playing songs. It's pretty cool. We didn't plan it like that. I didn't know the van had those superpowers, but that's essentially
clown
what
car.
happens. It's like a clown car. Yeah.
Well, you've set the expectations. Maybe you should have a Mary Poppins carpet bag too.
We can do that.
Yeah,
we can
if
do
the
That's a
van's
good
that
idea.
way. I
Yeah.
mean, and Aric, you call yourself not an artist? Really?
I didn't do it. It's just an
hold all that
event.
together.
I like
I have 5
community
foot tall
events.
wind chimes you can throw in there across the trail. But it's really cool. I appreciate doing that. It's like you took Pinoti 100, rock and roll. I know. I'll stop there. And Vermont 100, and you like compounded them.
Well,
in one.
there's potential.
Most
for
people don't
more.
know what
You
that
made
means.
it
It's okay.
accessible.
It's probably okay.
Do really most people not know what that means?
Yeah.
No, but
Okay.
the van will be there. We will be playing some background music and then interviewing some of the vendors and some of the musicians and stuff. So it'll be a lot of fun.
It's going to be a great, and like I said, there's a lot of camping. There's VIP camping, tent camping, a lot of camping opportunities. And, knock on wood, like I said, last year the weather was perfect. The full moon just was something we special ordered. And then the leaves changing. We had a drone footage. It looked like a bowl of Fruity Pebbles from the sky. It was absolutely perfect. And that's unfortunate in your first year event. It's great.
It is, because you know what they say about sequels. Movie sequels are, well, I don't have to say it.
Rocky
but
2.
Just like that even. Didn't even. That one must have hurt,
No,
man.
there's exceptions, but
Okay.
yeah. But I think that's why you've overcompensated on the second one, even just a little bit more to make up for that sort of the curse of the sequel. So
I guess you could say that, but I like to think of it as we're just wanting to make it a better experience.
Yeah, 1% better every year.
And it's tough though. Like the one thing we can't control
Weather.
was probably what made it last year, right? Being the first one. So the bar's set high on something we can't control because it could rain. I mean, we're in Utah, October. We could have a snowstorm.
oh my gosh.
Right.
But how fun have your craziest runs or whatever been when the worst conditions were set forth?
Maybe as in the participant side, but I imagine as a vendor and all that, you'd want better weather.
Well, that's when you go from
Put up a big canopy. It's like
and Gore-Tex.
2 million by 2
So do you have the
but
option where
no,
people
it's
can
not
just
them.
run next to you, like 4 people, one on each corner of a canopy, and just hold a canopy and run with you, and so that you don't get wet?
It's a VIP. That's
VIP.
This is the VIP experience. And no, we don't do that.
Okay.
yet.
What are the
Everybody is equal. There's no disparity.
what are the distances
opportunity.
for the race? You have running and
cycling, and they're timed events. So again, we wanted to do something a little different that this area is not used to seeing. I mean, on the bike side, there's a couple, but on the run side, there's really not. So it's not a distance. On the bike side, we have a 6 and a 3 hour event. So how many loops you can get in 7.5 miles. On the run side, we have a 9 hour, a 6 hour, and a 3 hour event. So it's just as many laps as you can get in during your allotted time frame. Right.
Okay.
And they're actually pretty popular events. Again, on the run side, and this community hasn't seen a lot of them locally. They've definitely picked up in the last 2 years, go figure. But it's fun because you can do a lap, you can stop and rest, do whatever you want at that point. You can run with family members. Last year we had like a mom and a daughter run. Sometimes a daughter would go off to the side and hang out with her friends. Mom would do another lap. So it's really for anybody. Like if you could do 1 lap in 3 hours, that's great. So, I mean, we tried to make it something for everybody, but also at the same time, if you do want to test your endurance, it's an endurance event. Like how hard can you push? How far can you go? Last year in the 9 hour event was just super fun. We had a gentleman come down from Pocatello. He won the 9 hour. Second place was a local legend, Heidi Waddups, and she finished second, but not far behind. The guy was running scared. He said that. He goes, I wasn't going to go out for another lap, but she was hauling. And then he finished that last lap in like super fast, and he's like, I thought she was on my heels the whole time.
Do you know how many miles he ran?
No, not off the top of my head. Okay. I could have brought that if I would have been prepared, but I didn't think we would get into that.
Yeah, no, that's deep.
Yeah, it's super deep. But yeah, I mean, it's just a fun. It's literally for everybody, and there's a lot of great things with art, music, and you've got the component of being out on the trails, and there's an opportunity to go hiking, even if you're not in the event. So it's something I'm super proud of, to be honest with you, that it's got year 2, and there's a lot of excitement around it. Working with Goal, working with Weber County Parks and Rec, Todd and Jennifer have been nothing but super supportive of this event, and really helped us with the venue.
Does it help your nonprofit?
Yeah, I mean, hoping more. It's a free event, so really it comes from like a sponsor or the athletic side of things, a participant side. But yeah, I mean, the proceeds go back to Goal and Trails Foundation, so they absolutely help. The idea is to slowly grow the event even more and learn something new every year. And, we've had, communication with people that have done it before, and hey, you guys should do this, and hey, maybe this would be cool. And we try and listen, but at the same time, we have very small staff on both sides.
How about budgets?
And budgets. So we do the best. I mean, I don't know. It's just a great event. It really is. I mean, we had a lot of, positive feedback. The camping side is really cool. There's yoga in the morning. I mean, there's a ton, literally. Of
Birds fly over when they're supposed to. And
yeah, the only thing we couldn't last year, the moose. We had one moose, but he made just a really quick appearance on one part of the trail. But,
okay.
But
You reached out to his people earlier this year, so
yeah, we
Maybe.
tried to. They're a lot busier than you think. Like they get booked pretty quick.
Especially in the fall.
Fall is the time.
So I have a fun like administrative question.
This is going to
some
be
of my
a good time.
favorite.
Yeah.
So how
Administration.
have you been marketing this event?
A lot of social media.
Yeah.
We will have some posters coming up. It's been in Cycling West magazine. Just the standard ways too, like website, email, that type of thing. The difficult part is the bandwidth of it, especially when both organizations are busy throughout the rest of the year. So sometimes it does get a late push for marketing.
Well, how early is too early, or when do people make up their decision to run that kind of a race?
Well, so the hard part, and one thing we really tried to focus on with this one is like it's not the end of the year being October, but it's kind of like racing season for both cycling and running. It is. So it's kind of like a celebratory, like just come and have fun, right? But there's people that get their schedules, especially, like your more competitive athletes, if that's the way to say it, they'll have a year in advance sometimes on their schedule, right? So
Or funding.
yeah, I mean it's
quarterly.
pretty inexpensive to do, but it is a thing. Like because there's a lot of like bigger trail runs in September. Like some of the bigger ones are that way. I know that the cycling I'm not as caught up, even though I do have a couple bikes now. I'm an artist.
I'm
Eric
paying you a
can't. He's
compliment.
not allowed to take compliments. Not on this podcast.
Your
not.
shirt
So,
matches
I-
his shoes.
That he can take a compliment off for
Thank you.
sure.
He
Yeah.
really didn't. He
But,
didn't even say thank you when I complimented him on
Well,
that.
because I
Well,
didn't think
that's
about it when I
just-
woke up.
That was planned a few
Jeez.
weeks
You
in
have your-
advance. probably.
it was.
clothes
It was.
Yeah.
So was
Set out for you, don't you?
I've got an app on my phone.
He's got an app.
You got
Clueless app. You know, what are those clueless
Yeah,
apps?
exactly.
Oh my God,
I
that'd be
This is
amazing.
a good bench.
I can tell when
there's
you're
a lot
being
of.
humble. 'Cause
Gotcha.
you do a Harrison and you start like,
Oh, I just like the chord.
oh, I know, and or you'll dig at things, but you're like, where I just like
I don't
vomit
like
at the
talking
mouth.
on microphones. Makes me nervous.
Well, I'm
whatever.
really good at it, as you can see. But no, you are being modest. You are very good at collaborating events.
Well, and I hope it
And connecting
continues.
people.
And it,
Can you
know,
tell they know each other? They've known each other for a long time.
Maybe a little bit. I think that the reason I ask this is it sounds like this event is going more on the spectator, the participant side. That's not necessarily racing, right? It's just a good time to come hang out. And so that's the audience that I'm always reaching out for, is not the ones that already know about your events, right?
It's joy.
And that's our goal with anything that we do, even with the city or anything with any sorts of arts organizations, is try to reach those people that are not already in the know, right?
No, exactly. I mean, that's the truth, right? Like,
That's why I'm always curious about where you're finding that.
yeah, and I mean, goals marketing on their side. So it's like
See, that's
bringing
very
two,
helpful, yeah.
bringing two organizations with, there's some definite crossover with the people that are involved with both, but there's not, right? So it's kind of like meshing, two organizations, groups or tribes,
You're closing disparity.
Well, I mean,
Between-
but that's the whole thing, is
between
like
the scope.
bringing people and cultures together. Ogden's been doing it forever, right? With the arts, with the outdoors, with that type of thing. I mean, you guys are a huge key to the art side, right? Like trying to do that. Plus you do your podcast, which brings in the outdoor and the arts, but there's such crossover between the two. We've got a land recognition ceremony that's going to happen, which is going to be super cool.
And it's dark sky, isn't it?
It's a dark sky certified. So we'll have, it's fun. The worst part
Bring
of this
all
event,
your flashlights, all the brightest flashlights. They love that.
They really do.
They love that.
I say
Spotlights.
stay sketchy, Ogden.
Spotlights.
My dad joined the rivers and tried to get rid of the power lines so people could fly kites at night.
nice.
So
I
makes me
did
smile.
what?
this is real life. Go.
My dad joined the rivers so he could.
He separated the Weaver and
joined-
Ogden, like where
Like
the
he's
convergence.
God, and he's just like.
No,
Okay.
yeah, he would like to think that. He'd laugh at you right
Yeah.
now. But yeah, no, when they
had
split,
a back
that's a rollback. Eric used to do Pilates with my father, and
True story.
and nothing would make him laugh harder than saying he parted rivers and walked on water, because he could not be that kind of. But yeah, where he wanted open space in Ogden too. This wasn't the primary purpose, but like if you go up to like Buse Pond in that area, notice there
Yeah.
are not any power lines in the main area where you can fly kites.
Got you.
That's why.
Kite flying is important.
You can do that
It is
at the
because you'll
festival if you bring one.
Benjamin
Yeah.
Franklin already went. He already towed that rope.
He taught us. He taught us the way.
He'll be there.
He'll be there.
He's got Ben Franklin at mile 3 as
Yeah,
many
he's
times
on
as
speed
you
dial.
go.
But no, I mean, it's just the worst part about it is being the race director. You don't get to enjoy.
Is that your role during the weekend? As race
event director, myself and Aric. So we try and just be around and take care of things and do what we can. We have two great teams for sure that do a lot, right? And we put them into their, where they want to be filled in. But at the end, like last year we did it. We were running around all weekend long, and it was just
that
really
was sort
hard.
of my negotiations with Bauman. Because bringing van sessions up there, my question was, do you want us to bring bands or what do you want us to do? And because I'm like, I would like to hang out and enjoy the festivities, because it feels like
ate last year.
Yeah,
at a food truck. It came close.
You almost ate.
I almost
ate. Yeah. So we have a sort of a quasi version of what we normally do, is like a toned down version, but so that we can also just have fun.
Yeah.
Have a good time.
Well, and between the two Arics, A and E, I've actually known Bauman longer, but the two of them are like human Valium. No joke.
Valium?
What? Valium? That's
human Valium. They are the calm. They can
like
be absolutely.
No,
no. You're calming.
Can we cut that mic off real quick?
Let's be clear. I've never had Valium. Let's be clear on that. So I've given it a lot. But like you guys could be absolutely imploding or exploding. You would never know, and you can.
calm. So you're calm. You're calm.
No, but they radiate calm. That's the difference.
Calm.
Yeah, they can appear calm. That's one thing. They radiate it.
A smell that you can
ask Bauman.
Comes off as boredom, but it's just calm.
People think I'm super lame.
No,
super lame. Like
like you walk in, like you're high strung about that. Like they could be high strung, but they walk in and they just go, it's fine.
No, a calming presence is a good thing in that position.
Thank
but
you.
Not in life.
Isn't that Mantis in the movies? Yeah, thank you. All right. Got you. Who's with me? Who's with?
Oh yeah. I've seen that, John Wayne.
John Wayne.
Thank you. And you say I can be
Mantis.
confusing. Yeah.
Come on now. That's what she does.
This episode is going to need like notes, like a lot of notes to explain what's
You know what? Google
and links.
or email me, whatever.
Google machine.
Links.
Yeah. Or links.
Cryptid podcast.
Email Brogan at thebandcom.
Brogan
succulents.
Kelby, that's a name of an artist, a local artist.
Who is?
Brogan
Kelby,
yeah. Isn't that right, Kelby? That's the name? I have a local artist too. We interviewed in the van, but nice folk. Yeah. Anyway.
Are they human Valium too?
But Brogan, the podcast, is totally different.
Different.
That's the thing, yeah.
Totally different. It's a new thing.
New
thing. Happening
Every
Thursday. I'm just giving you some
bra. We can't do that. Yeah, Brogan.
Brogan. That doesn't sound near as bro.
It does. No, it doesn't.
No, we need the bro.
Yeah.
I need
really
you guys to do
put
street
emphasis
walking.
on the bro.
Some turn on street walking.
Todd, do you have any arts news?
What do you got, Todd?
The one thing that I want to make sure we talked about, even just for a minute, is just
Street walking at all?
I wanted to close the episode with street walking.
Okay.
Yeah, do that.
Okay.
Maybe talk rates. We'll talk street walking rates as well, because it differs on which corner you're at, obviously. That's just an obvious thing.
All the more reason to do it.
Exactly. No, I think we should chat just a little bit about the block party that's coming up.
Yes,
Maybe that's in your notes already. And so
in my notes was to ask you if we had another band. That was
there's a maybe. I know we're coming to the last little bit of time here, but the goal is yes.
Yeah, we have 3 for sure's.
Yep.
And so we're looking to get one more.
So that's coming up on, the date better than it's
God.
very soon.
No,
it's like 2
let me
weeks,
look
right?
it up. I do have to Google this one.
It's pretty soon. It's
Did
like
you
the
say 2
9th.
weeks?
Is the 9th? I don't want to throw out the wrong dates, but I want to say the 9th.
The 9th sounds right.
Speaking of dates, the
I think
Northern
it's
Utah
the 9th.
Trailfest is October 6th through the 8th.
And where do we get information for that? We can just show up, but if we want to run and race.
Yeah, you can go to northernutahtrailfest.com, or you can either go to the Gold website or the TFNU website and link to it. But yeah, all the information's there. I highly suggest the thousands of listeners right now go to the website, register, find a friend to go with.
I don't like your
there.
tone.
I don't either.
Why?
Unless
You
that
have
was
thousands.
true. Okay, that's
Yeah,
probably
right. Like
it was facetious, but I'm like, yeah, that's probably about right.
It's right. Okay, that's right.
Tens
Yeah.
of thousands.
I'm so used to like not having anybody listen to this, but now when you throw those numbers out, I'm like, yeah, probably.
So when we were on the radio,
Not minimize
right?
yourself.
At 88.1 Weber FM.
Yeah. in the fishbowl.
in the fish up at Weber State, and that's how
That's how we
And,
all
and
learned
Aric,
rap.
Aric was with us, and that's how we all learned what rap was. Thank God for 88.1. And I was like, you know what? One person could be listening, my mom, or millions.
Yeah.
The whole valley's tuned into 88. I was always so nervous to do the radio show.
I think there was a small location that you could pick up the station. So
Depend on where on Harrison you were driving by.
pretty much, yeah.
But
You
yeah.
drive right in and out of it.
You pushed
No,
the
I
right
would
button on
bend.
my Walkman, it went right to it.
Right
That's
there.
why turning it into the podcast worked so well. 'cause
So
He
locked
talked
it
about a
down.
Discman the
we
other day.
picked up all those. Yeah, I did. Discmans
All right,
are
so
where
we're
it's
right.
at.
So
Okay.
September 9th. And so I don't want to step on your.
Yeah, what's going
September
on?
9th is the
No,
block party.
It's cool.
Food, beverage, live music, artisans, art activities for everyone.
Yep.
Let's not forget that. Oh, a beer garden.
And
That's
it
who we're
benefits?
playing to, isn't it?
We are. And so the van will be here, and I don't have to do a whole lot of work. We're helping organize artists in advance, musicians in advance, and then we'll give them a little PA to play on and stuff, and they'll set up in the typical van session spot in the alleyway where we normally are, but the alleyway is going to be converted into a beer garden. So that'll be awesome.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
But both Ogden Ave and 25th are both closed.
Shut it down. Shut all the roads down because you might as well.
And they're
turn it
closing
into a park.
25th from if I'm not mistaken, from the mountain to Union Station.
You can't go north and south through Ogden. You got to take I-15. That's,
Well, Eric's helping me at Upper Big Water, aren't you?
I'll be in Phoenix.
It should be really
Well,
fun.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be in the Stanley King room, and this may be the first time Jim hears this. I have to leave early because we have flights to get to the. We have the
Jim's like,
Stephen.
Jim-
I know. That's why. That's
I don't
what
know
makes
where
me
Jim
happy.
is.
In fact, if you go help him download the app to hear it. No, I'm just kidding. We have the
I
Stanley
just like
King
that we
room.
get all the personal stuff out of the
Stanley,
way.
the Stephen
Get it
King
out of the
room
way.
at the
Just
Stanley.
remember
morning,
you
we have to
scheduled
fly
these
out.
two guests at the same time.
On purpose.
On
That's
purpose.
what I'm saying.
purpose.
Hey,
you
by
get
the
what
way,
you get.
Yeah.
I was a cameo. It was like a drive-by shooting.
Can you tell she's a
from
cameo?
text.
No.
Well, I don't shut up. I mean, that was a risk in and of itself. I mean, whether it's you or not.
Well, Brandon texted me and my reply was, uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
That's what he said.
I'll own it.
But then I made him text you last week and say whatever you want. Fuck with him.
Whoa, whoa.
Oh, sorry.
Whoa, this is not a family show.
It's so fun.
Not
We can talk beer garden and the street being shut down. But
yeah.
sorry.
And street walking, apparently.
I don't trust
So,
anybody who doesn't swear in general conversation.
Oh, we swear a lot.
yeah. Okay, I don't have any arts news. I don't think I have any arts news. Although, if you're not following Taurons of Yellowstone on Instagram, I highly suggest you do because it's very entertaining.
It is.
Okay, that's
Unfortunate.
unfortunately
It
True
is.
a lot of the time.
Yeah,
And also,
I didn't want that kind of focus, but it really is cool.
One more note. So Friday night, which is coming up, is the Ogden's First Friday Art Stroll. So we'll be set up, of course, with 3 bands, musicians. Good lineup.
Todd keeps booking heavy. Todd was going to pare us down to 2 bands because it becomes a lot of work for all the things.
We just can't do it.
And he's so inundated, I guess, with requests that we book 3 every week or every
It's
month.
impressive how fast you switch out awesome bands. Like, it's really impressive.
Well, I got a little cable tied last month. The last bands took me a hot minute
And
to
our
figure
start
out where all
times
the
are,
stuff was
are
going.
loose.
Yeah.
They're banyan time, and so it's.
Did you hear the person
start when they start.
in the audience that heckled me last time? Because I
It's
started
probably deserving, but was it
the
a good
last
heckle?
was it you? I mean, it's usually
It might
you,
have
but
been,
it didn't sound like your voice because we started the last band, and I think on our I don't know what the last band time was supposed to be 8:30, 8:45, something like that, and it was like 9:15, and I'm like now on van sessions, and someone's like it's about time, been here all night.
Come on, Brogan.
Yeah, it was like shh, it's being recorded. Give me a
I'll heckle you anytime you want.
come heckle.
I
come
don't have a
heckle.
problem.
I love
Sorry,
it,
I was
yeah.
in Breckenridge last time where I'd own it whether it was me or not.
But we got. I think that's when you make it is when you're getting heckled from the.
I
Yeah.
think so.
Oh, you know what? We have an audience now, so let's go ahead and start the show. Case, I'll turn the speakers up so you can hear. Is that better? Cheers. He's got some red wine out there. Actually, we were just shutting it down.
Even better.
So, thanks,
Dang it.
Banyan One, for powering today's episode
just
of
made it
Ogden
this
Arts
time.
and Adventure Show. Aric, thanks so much for spending some time with us and talking about nuts and Breein.
Just the nut.
Just the nut. That's right. Nuts is copyrighted. We have to stay with just the nut.
Yeah, no S.
Yeah, no S. The nut.
Northern Utah Trailfest.
Trailfest.
Copyright Hummers too.
Nut. It's nut.
There you
Trailfest
go.
is one word. Yeah. It's
Yes,
not
it
nut.
is.
Yeah. Trail.
Yep.
Breein,
And
thanks so much for sharing your artistic talent and experience with us
And
today.
thanks for sharing just all the thoughts. Just all the thoughts.
Okay, this is why.
We appreciate that. That's
There's
what's
more
great about the
thoughts
show.
than anything. Unclutched opinions. Or
unclutched.
I used to say unsolicited, but they're really just unclutched because they just flow.
How long is this show?
Right
We're into
now.
our
Right
third
You know
now.
hour,
what?
I believe.
It's
This is my cameo. You still have another hour.
I got one weapon, and this is it. Listen and subscribe to Ogden Arts and Adventure on YouTube. Look for us on Facebook, Instagram, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, thebandingcollective.com, and the Podbean app for Android and iPhones. We will leave you this week with an outdoor jukebox from Guava Tree. The more I listened to these guys, the more I liked them. Light Your Way, as recorded on Van Sessions at the Monarch. You can find all the Van Sessions on Van Sessions YouTube at Van Sessions Pod. Thanks for listening to the Ogden Arts and Adventure Show, and we'll catch you on the next episode.
All the things that you say, they will lie away. All the things that you say, they will lie away. That you say, they will light your way. In the peace of your day, you may whisper a song, pray. It will light your way, light your way. In the moments of gray, you may find me in the center of pleasure and pain. One in the wake. All the things that you say, they will light your way. things that you say, oh, they will light your way. Thank you.
So good. Guava Tree on Van Sessions.